What's happening, sports fans? Welcome back to another episode with Mom and Papa Joe. Spare ribs on the menu today. With all the spare ribs we've done on the Weber, we've never done just a traditional smoke. So that it is today. Let's get it. We're going to get straight to the point, folks. I've already rinsed and pretty much dried these. Pretty nice rack. Heavy, nice and thick, even thickness from end to end as I like. Quite a bit of stuff that I definitely want to take off. So let's start right here. We'll get rid of the skirt. I'm actually going to leave the membrane on today. For you folks that are membrane off, feel free. I honestly have never noticed a difference. I want to get rid of this small bone on the end. I'll call some of this heavier fat that won't render. Come back and just clean up my front. You can definitely cook this as is with the breastbone on. I do not like the texture of the breastbone smoke. I prefer it in a roast cabbage dish that I do. I'm going to put a link to my top left to the roasted cabbage with rib tips. You're going to love that. So I definitely want to get rid of this bone as well. And now I'm going to come back and just get a nice 5-inch rack of St. Louis spares. Does not go to waste, folks. Check out that top link. All right, folks, so our seasonings today, my base is going to be that chupacabra. I'm going to use this like an all-purpose, man, full of lots of great herbs and spices. Then I'm going to cover it with that meat candy. This is going to give me that awesome color along with some cherry chunks. And for a little more texture in my bark, I'm going to add some 16 mesh cracked black pepper. Feel free to just use your favorite seasonings. There's still quite a bit of moisture on our ribs. Nice fat underneath our membrane. I think I'm going to take advantage of that fat, and hopefully as this cooks, that fat renders in the inside and just permeates, keeps this meat nice and juicy. With a light layer of some 16 mesh, nothing heavy. And we'll come in here with our chupacabra. Look at those herbs. Oh. And then our Sucker Busters meat candy, just to tie it all together. Do a quick flip, chupacabra, and that meat candy. All right, we're going to give this about 15-20 minutes to sweat in as we head outside and get our Weber going. So we've turned the Weber into a smoker today using the old school Smokinator. This square right here fits a water pan that I don't usually use, but I've got a chock full of fuel. I got some garlic onion briquettes and about 4 small pieces of cherry wood. Use the wood of your choosing, your favorite. I'm just going to light one corner, and when I'm satisfied that that one corner is pretty well fired up, I will leave it alone. Give this about another 15 minutes as our ribs are in there sweating before we come back and drop the meat on. All right, folks, we've given this about 20 minutes, and we've got a nice little flame in there, man. It's burning on its own. Nice light smoke. We'll come back with our grate. And once again, we're using the hinged grates in case we have to reload. Fuel. Our rack has a nice sweat going. The seasonings, salt, sugars have become one with that rib. I'm going to come down over this piece of foil, which is only there to make cleanup easier. I'm going to start this cook with the bone side facing the heat, because this first hour or so, the fire is not going to be at its hottest. But in the second hour, things are going to heat up. And then I'll rotate a 180 with this thicker side towards the heat. Push your ribs, squish your ribs together in to thicken them up, helps retain juices, and gives it a nice uniform look. So once again, come back with our lid and our vent over the protein to draw that heat and smoke. All right, here's that first hour, folks. And as expected, not a whole lot going on. We've really started drying out. But now that most of the fire has caught, we're going to rotate a 180. And in this second hour, hour and a half, is when the magic is going to start to happen. We should see a huge difference the next time we open this up. Let's continue rocking. We don't want our fire to get crazy. 2 hours and 15 minutes. And I think we're going to be looking at wrapping. We've got a nice color. That bark is definitely set. Let's see what's happening under here. Oh, looks great. We're going to butcher paper. Let's head inside. Get that cover back on. Let's come right across. That's simple, folks. And we're headed back to the grill. I will give this another hour or so, and we'll come back out here and begin checking for tenderness. All right, folks, we are at an hour, and I'm going to sauce these ribs, so I'm going to heat up a little barbecue sauce. Doesn't matter, folks. Use your favorite barbecue sauce. This one just so happened to be open. I'm not going to require a whole lot. Not the biggest fan of barbecue sauce, but I like to thin it out with a little apple juice. I don't have apple juice today, so I'm going to use just a little chicken stock to thin it out. And then I'm going to heat this up on the stove while we go out here and check these ribs. All right, we're about an hour and 15 minutes wrapped. So we can tell that package was initially very tight. It's loosened up because these ribs have shrunk a little bit. And man, they feel nice and soft. I've got a nice bend. Oh yeah. So we're going to sauce these. I've got my sauce heated up. Let's just hit this backside. We're gonna give these give or take 5-7 minutes just to tack up, and we're gonna call it good. All right, folks, so a little over 3.5 hours, and we're going to pull these. We let that sauce set on here for a good almost 10 minutes. And, man, we've got a nice bend, and we are ready to rock. We're going to let these rest for a couple of 5-10 minutes before we slice into them. All right, folks, she's had a few minutes to rest. Let's check her out, see how we did. I don't want to flip to slice. Hopefully I don't tear these up. Oop. All right, so I kind of got it now. So I'm torn these all up, but it's all good. Not the prettiest slice job, but man. Oh, yeah. Forget about the slice job, folks. But, man, that is a juicy rib. Now, I'll flip over and show you this. But look at that. Yeah, Mama says she wants the first bite. We'll let you bite, Mama. Mm-hmm. Mm. Wow.
Wow. Yeah, those are delicious.
Membrane, smembrane. Folks, don't worry about that membrane. Just cook your ribs. That membrane, that membrane helps you to retain moisture, man. Doesn't get much better. Beautiful smoke ring. Nice kiss from that cherry smoke. A little over 3.5 hours. Get it done, folks. I want to thank you guys and gals as usual for hanging out with Mom and Papa Joe's. We really appreciate it. Be on the lookout for another video coming very soon. And as always, Mom and I want you guys to take care of yourselves, love each other, and we'll see you when we see you. Holla.